The NFC Championship starting at 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. The line moved yesterday, or from Sunday night to yesterday, because yesterday's when I noticed it, from 4.5 to 6. The Eagles are favored by 6, which kind of surprises me, and it tells me it's the early money, just assumes the Eagles are better. And then when the sharps get involved, that's when we'll know, how bad Jalen Hurts' knee really is, because they're going to keep that as quiet as they can. But whether Jalen Hurts is healthy or not, something you've been talking about all year, Chris, the one-dimensional nature of the offense. Not that they only run, but they only run well. The passing game isn't as good as it needs to be. They can get some downfield stuff. The intermediate stuff's not there. It just isn't as rhythmic,
right,
and scripted,
right,
and clicking. It feels like Sandlot. It's roll left, roll right, find a guy. There isn't a whole lot of intricacy to the passing game.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that going to blow up on them against the Commanders?
I mean, it's a risk, right? They're so talented and they're so good that they can overcome a lot of those issues. But, the problem is, hey, we're trying to win the Super Bowl. And, yeah, can you win the NFC Championship game that way? Can you beat the Bills and the Chiefs with going, we might just throw for 125 yards and the passing game really be no effect in the Super Bowl and all that? That, to me, is just, you're not, taking full advantage of everything that's there to be had within your football team. And, you're right. We've talked about this a lot, right? We've probably been talking about this since about week 5 or 6 in the NFL season. Just to go, it's very simple. And I don't know who to blame there, right? I hear a lot of people, hey, Kellen Moore, Jalen Hurts, a little bit of all of it, whatever. But there's not much when you look at it, like you talked about the intricacies of the schematics, right? They're just not that in depth. It's a lot of the same route patterns over and over. It's repeat plays over and over. And then that's okay for the most part. But if you're going to run it that way, then the quarterback needs to run it to a T. And then Jalen Hurts, ever since he got the concussion, has just not been himself. So I think that's where it's like a double whammy right now. He has not been as good in the pocket as we saw in the game the other day. He's not seeing the field quite as well as you'd like. Certainly some dicey decisions, some errant throws, some sitting in the pocket and you go, hey, wait, this guy's open over here. Why are you looking over there? You're supposed to be on this side of the field. So it's been off kilter. And when it's simple to begin with and now the quarterback's not executing it the way it should be, it really gets off kilter and you start to go, this isn't very good at all. And hopefully they can fix that this week with Jalen Hurts in practice.
It's weird watching highlights from that game because it was like 3 different games.
Right.
Because you have the game before the snow.
Yeah.
Then you have the game where the snow's all over the field and it's 1940 and you have no idea where anyone is. And then it's the very carefully blown out lines and numbers, and they even blew out the little notch that lets you know on TV which side of the 50 they're on. So just what a day that was. And, hey, when you have Saquon Barkley, you don't need to have a great passing game. This gets back to what we talked about on Monday. If they fully commit to neutralizing, and you're not going to shut him down. What's the old saying? You can't stop him, you can only hope to contain him.
Yeah.
If they contain him to 100 or less, that would be a win. Because I don't know that the passing game is good enough to balance that out.
Right.
And if you don't commit to taking him away and doing everything you can, the Bill Belichick approach, what do they do best? They run the ball with Saquon Barkley. Okay, our entire defensive game plan is going to be about coming up with ways to take out Saquon Barkley, to keep him from killing us. And we'll force and we'll dare Jalen Hurts to try to beat us in the passing game. That's exactly what they would do. I mean, without question, it's what they would do.
Yes.
What Belichick would do.
Right.
And it, why do we think the Commanders won't?
They
will.
will.
You've seen this movie before.
You're right.
Multiple times, and they've witnessed it twice.
Yeah.
With, strong showings from Saquon Barkley. They beat him once. They lost to him once. They got to take away Saquon Barkley. They got to sell out to stop him and see what Jalen Hurts can do, given all the whiffs of dysfunction we've seen in their past.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. And the Rams, that's what's amazing, Mike, and what you're talking about. The Rams kind of sold out to stop them. And that's why there were so many carries that went for nothing or 2 or 3. But the problem is when you sell out to stop them and they open up a hole, right? When you got 8 or 9 guys at the line of scrimmage, you get to that second level and nobody is there. And that's where they're so dangerous, and you've heard me wax poetically about their offensive line, which I think is an all-time great offensive line. But you're saying it right. You're saying the same thing I'm saying, right? It's, hey, yeah, they want to ride them and do all that, but what if they come against the Chiefs and Steve Spagnuolo in the Super Bowl, or McDermott and the Bills? They're the type of coaches that can come up with the game plan like you're talking about to go, oh, no, and now it's going to be on the passing game. So that's where they're just running. They're playing a risky style of football right now, relying on that run game so much. And A.J. Brown, he had 2 drops in the game. Certainly that messes up the flow of the football game. That changes the way Jalen Hurts feels. So, yeah, I think them getting a few throws, getting a few positive plays in the pass game this week will be big for them as far as just maybe backing off Washington, getting some confidence and doing all that. Because, yeah, it's tough playing the way they're playing right now. It really is.
Let me ask you this, and then we got to move on because we got a lot of other things we want to get to. You talked earlier about how the Rams sold out to stop Barkley. They were close to the line of scrimmage, and we saw the holes that got blown wide open. We saw Becton put Roseboom on his ass, and there was no one there. The safety was in the wrong spot, bad angle, whatever. There has to be a way to construct it so that you do have a second level that has a meaningful shot at holding him to 7 yards and not giving up the home run. Or is it as simple as this guy is so much physically better than anyone else, nothing you do is going to matter? Well, he's going to bust past you.
It's going to be hard. They are so much physically better, right? That's the thing. I mean, again, you saw the 3 long touchdown runs the other night. He's awesome. His speed and ability to capitalize and get through those holes at a rate that most running backs can is special. But we also can recognize the holes for him on the 2 long touchdown runs and the Jalen Hurts run were gigantic. And that's where it's like they're so good. You know what I think about those 2 tackles. They're as good as anybody in football. The guard play, especially Landon Dickerson, he's one of the best guards in football. The center's damn good too, Mekhi Becton. So they got that. But it's going to take a special unit on the defensive side of the ball that can do what you're talking about, along with the game planning the right way too. And we'll see. I don't think Washington's unit itself on the defensive side of the ball is special by any means, but Dan Quinn, can he come up with something? And then really, as we know, it's going to be about Washington's offense and their ability to control the clock and move the ball there too. That's what it's going to take. But, yeah, Mike, I think it's going to take special coach, special defensive unit to kind of stop Saquon Barkley.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.